Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you think you're an adventurous eater, you might want to think again after watching this. Today, we're embarking on a wild global street food adventure to uncover the 10 weirdest, most shocking, and downright bizarre dishes you can find. Some of these will test your limits, while others you might actually be curious enough to try. So, grab a snack, a normal one. For now and let's dive into the culinary deep end. Starting our countdown at number 10, we're in Cambodia with a snack that'll make your skin crawl. Fried tarantulas. Yep, you heard that right. These aren't your tiny household spiders. We're talking about giant, hairy tarantulas, deep fried to a perfect crisp. Locals in places like Skuon, the tarantula town, munch on these like potato chips. They say the legs are crunchy, and the abdomen has a gooey center. Flavor-wise, it's often compared to a cross between chicken and cod. It's a crunchy, protein-packed street food that's definitely not for the faint of heart. Who's brave enough for this 8-legged treat? Sliding into number 9, we journey to the icy landscapes of Iceland for Hákarl. This isn't your average fish and chips. Hákarl is fermented Greenland shark, a creature that's poisonous when fresh. To make it edible, the meat is buried in a shallow pit and covered with sand and stones for 6 to 12 weeks to ferment. Then, it's hung to dry for several more months. The result is a chewy cube of fish with an incredibly potent, ammonia-like smell that has been known to make even the toughest foodies gag. Celebrity chef Anthony Bourdain famously called it the single worst thing he'd ever eaten. It's a true Viking challenge. At number 8, we land in Mexico for a delicacy that's earned the nickname insect caviar. Meet Escamoles. These are the edible larvae and pupae of ants, harvested from the roots of agave plants, the same plants that give us tequila. So, what do they taste like? Forget what you think you know about eating bugs. Escamoles are described as having a surprisingly pleasant, buttery, and slightly nutty flavor, with a texture like cottage cheese or couscous. Often pan-fried with butter and spices, they're served in tacos or omelets. It's a pre-Hispanic delicacy that proves weird, can also be wonderfully delicious. Flying in at number 7, we're in China to crack open a century egg. Don't worry, it's not actually 100 years old. Also known as a padan, this is a duck, chicken, or quail egg, preserved in a mixture of clay, ash, salt, and quicklime for several weeks to several months. This process transforms the egg completely. The egg white turns into a translucent, dark brown jelly, and the yolk becomes a creamy, dark green, or even black substance with a strong, savory flavor. It's a staple in Chinese cuisine, often eaten with pickled ginger or in a rice porridge called congee. It's definitely an acquired taste, but one cherished by millions. Number 6 takes us to the Philippines for what is arguably one of the most infamous street foods on the planet, balut. This is a developing bird embryo, usually a duck, that's boiled and eaten in its shell. You crack open the top, sip the savory broth, and then eat the contents, which include a soft yolk and the tiny, partially developed duckling. It's considered a high-protein, energy-boosting snack and a national delicacy. While the idea might be challenging for many outsiders, locals love it, often enjoying it with a sprinkle of salt and a dash of vinegar. It's a true test of your culinary courage. Wiggling its way to number 5 is Sannakji from South Korea. This dish takes fresh seafood to a whole new level. Sannakji is live octopus, chopped into small pieces and served immediately while the tentacles are still squirming on the plate. The suction cups can even stick to your mouth and throat, so you have to chew very, very thoroughly. It's seasoned simply with sesame oil and sesame seeds. Fans of the dish rave about its unique, chewy texture and fresh oceanic flavor. It's less about the taste and more about the thrilling and slightly dangerous experience of eating food that's fighting back. For number 4, we're heading to the heartland of the USA, specifically the Midwest, for a fried brain sandwich. Yes, you read that correctly. This old-school dish, originating from regions with a heavy German and Dutch influence, traditionally features sliced calf or pig brains that are battered and deep. The brains have a soft, custard-like texture, which contrasts with the crispy fried coating. Served on a simple bun with mustard and pickles, it was once a common menu item, though it's much rarer today. It's a creamy, crunchy, and slightly unnerving piece of American culinary history. At number 3, we have a food so pungent it's often opened outdoors or even underwater. Welcome to Sweden, home of This is Baltic sea herring that's fermented for at least 6 months, creating one of the most powerful and putrid food smells in the world. The can bulges from the gases produced during fermentation, and opening it is an event in itself. The taste is equally intense, sharply acidic, salty, and utterly unforgettable. Swedes traditionally eat it in a wrap with potatoes, sour cream, and onions. It's a beloved cultural tradition, but one that requires a very strong stomach and an even stronger will. Our runner-up at number 2 is Casu Marzu from Sardinia, Italy. This cheese has been called the world's most dangerous cheese by some, and for good reason. It's a sheep's milk pecorino that is intentionally infested with live insect larvae maggots. These larvae digest the cheese's fats, breaking it down into a very soft, creamy texture with a pungent, sharp flavor. The maggots themselves, which can jump up to 6 inches, are part of the experience. Some people clear them out, but traditionalists eat them right along with the cheese. It's so extreme that it was banned for a time by the European Union. And finally, claiming the #1 spot on our list of the world's weirdest street foods, we're in Thailand for a crunchy, crawly smorgasbord, fried insects. From crickets and grasshoppers to bamboo worms, silkworms, and even water beetles. The street food stalls of Bangkok are teeming with these crispy critters. They're typically deep-fried and seasoned with salt, pepper, and sometimes chili. Far from being a novelty, insects are a sustainable, high-protein food source. Many say they taste like nutty, crunchy popcorn or shrimp chips. They're surprisingly addictive and a must-try for any true food adventurer visiting Thailand. And there you have it. It is a most bizarre and challenging street foods from across the globe. So, I have to ask, which one would you actually be brave enough to try? Or have you already tried any of